Hello people, it's your boy Usman back again with another video. It's the last game of the season. Manchester United won 2-0 against Crystal Palace at Old Trafford. Harrop and Pogba with the goal. My man Pogba, his first game back obviously from his dad passing away. I'm very happy for him to put in a solid performance, first things first, and obviously getting that goal, most importantly, giving him a bit of a confidence boost going into the game on Wednesday. And most importantly, the man didn't get injured. Just want to talk about the game itself and obviously the individual players and the sort of potential that they do have. We didn't see too much of some of the players. Angel Gomez in particular, I wanted to see a lot more from him. Unfortunately, he only got the 5 minutes at the end, the little cameo for Rooney to get his little send-off. But yeah, talking about the game, first things first, let's talk about the first half. It was a very solid performance at the start of the game. They're kind of showing up, the older lads, if I'm being honest. A lot of intensity, desire, passion, but that's kind of what you'd expect from the younger lads. It's an opportunity for them to prove to Jose, that they are capable of taking that step into the first team from the obviously youth ranks. You kind of saw something that you haven't seen a lot in the first team throughout the season, while in the last couple of weeks, and that's the ability to take risks and be willing to go forward at every given opportunity. That's something we haven't seen. Straight away, Harrop in particular, in the first 5 minutes, he was already doing step overs, beating his man, something we've not seen very regularly from the likes of Lingard, Martial and Mkhitaryan. And Badges fucking interrupted me. As I was saying, just before I got interrupted by my brother, it was good to see the players actually start the game on the front four. Like I've just said, Harrop was straight in there, doing a step over, trying to beat his man. And, it wasn't really successful straight away, but it's good to just see the players expressing themselves. It makes a bloody change, rather than that pedestrian style of football we've been seeing in the last couple of weeks. I suppose, because of the youth players, you'd expect them to be doing that kind of thing, because they need to impress Jose. And I think some of them definitely, Harrop in particular, obviously getting that goal, and his overall play was fantastic. So I think he's definitely put in a good name for himself, and obviously showing himself in a good light. Just to go through the lineup, because I haven't actually mentioned it. First of all, it was Joel Pereira in net. Jose did say he was going to play. Timothy Fosu-Mensah at right back. Very happy to see him back in the team. I genuinely properly rate him so much as a player. He's not a right back. He can play centre back or CDM, but the guy is just a beast. And he obviously, as he saw through some of the flipping tackles he done, absolutely crunching. He was flipping caught out right at the start of the game, but he recovered fantastically. Centre backs Bailly and Jones, who I thought were both solid. Left back was Mitchell. On the right, so it was a 4-2-3-1. So on the right it was Lingard. In the two centre mid positions, Twansebi and McTominay. Can't pronounce his name still. On the left it was Harrop, who obviously, like I've just mentioned, was fantastic. In the attacking mid position it was Pogba, getting that bloody important goal for him, good for his confidence. And up front was Wayne Rooney. So I just want to go through the individual players and obviously how I feel their performances were, if they've got any potential, if I think they're capable of obviously taking the next step and obviously cementing their place in the first team, or at least get on the bench or the squad in general. First things first, start with the goalkeeper. I thought he had a pretty solid game. He had a couple of incidents, especially from corners, that I felt like he wasn't good enough coming and collecting the ball. So that's something I definitely think he needs to improve on. His sort of decision making in particular wasn't fantastic, but his shot stopping ability, as you would imagine given his height, was very good. The one in particular from the free kick that he caught, I would have been happy for him to save it, let alone claiming it. So fair play to the guy. Fairly solid performance. We obviously have De Gea and Romero. It's never going to be easy for a goalkeeper, let alone someone who's a third choice, to get into the first team. However, it's a good game for him. I thought he had a decent performance overall. I'll probably rate him a 7, because like I said, he didn't do too much wrong. Just a couple of areas of improvement, mainly coming to collect the ball. On the right back, Timothy Fosu-Mensah. First 5 minutes, they had a little 1-2 give and go in behind him. I think it was Van Aanholt that got in behind. He kind of was caught on the wrong side. However, his recovery challenge was flipping sublime. Slide tackle, got the ball, got the player as well. Just a little bonus there for him. But no, overall he was clattering into tackles. That's kind of what you want to see from a defender, and a CDM in general. For me, he's a CDM, and I think he needs to be played in his position. But overall, I was very impressed with his performance. He wasn't shying away from any responsibilities going into tackles. He was good going forward as well. So again, I'd probably give him a 7. Bailly and Jones. For me, Jones, if I was to choose between Jones and Smalling, I'd go for Jones 100% to partner Blind in the centre back position, mainly because Jones is actually not scared to actually get stuck in. But yeah, we start with Bailey. Bailey is solid as always. It looked like he went down injured, but it's the end of the season, so it doesn't really make a difference. Of course, he's suspended for the Europa League game, so he can't play anyway. So if he's injured, it's not the end of the world. However, I thought he was very solid, as he always is. I'm going to give Bailey a 7.5. Don't really talk too much about Bailey because obviously we know who he is. Jones, again, very solid performance from him. I don't really think Crystal Palace had caused as much problems, mainly because the defense was very good. I'm going to give him a 7. On the left, Mitchell for me was fantastic going forward. You know, some of the movement that he was doing kind of reminiscent of Luke Shaw. I'm not Luke Shaw is not an absolute great, but for me, I think Luke Shaw is definitely our standout left back if he's fit. And Mitchell kind of had shades of Luke Shaw. Some of his runs in particular, the way he was willing to beat his man and obviously give Harrop an opportunity to give Harrop another option off the ball. It was, you know, it was refreshing to see. No, to be honest with you, it was nice to see the youngsters get stuck in and play with a bit of passion and a bit of heart. Not seen that for the last couple of weeks, so it was very nice to see that. So going to the centre mid position, for me, Tuanzebe, I genuinely just don't know why he's playing there. It's a waste of position. I think he needs to be playing at centre back, at least right back. CDM, I don't think it's his position at all. He had a decent game. He had a couple of decent challenges, but for me, if I was looking at him for the future and thinking, is he going to be one that you think about? Not in the CDM position anyways. However, I think Jose probably thinks he can mould him. You know, I trust Jose completely. Don't get me wrong, Tuanzebe defensively has the flipping capabilities to play in CDM, but I just think his intelligence on the ball, he doesn't know when to collect the ball from the defense. He doesn't know where to stand, you know, when he's not got the ball. He just does little things. Obviously, he's not CDM, so I won't expect him to know those things. McTominay, I'm going to pronounce his name correctly. At some point, I don't think he had a fantastic game, if I'm being genuinely honest. I think he made a lot of mistakes. A lot of the times when he's on the ball, he was very negative, passing it backwards, sideways. Again, he's a youngster, so we've got to be patient with that kind of thing. But if I was to think as someone who's going to break in the team, I wouldn't put his name above some of the other individuals who performed on the day. We go to Lingard again. I'm not going to talk too much about Lingard, just obviously to give Tuanzebe and McTominay the ratings. I'm probably going to give them a pair of 6.5s. I don't think they were fantastic. I think they've definitely got areas of improvement. McTominay, decision making, and Tuanzebe, I'll probably say his positional sense. Obviously, he's not a CDM. I say positional sense in particular, and just a bit more confidence to get on the ball and obviously pass the ball forward through the channels. Obviously, don't expect that from either of them. Going into Lingard, I thought he had a decent game. I'm just going to give him a 6.5. You know, he didn't really flip in, blow me away, did get me off my seat. However, Lingard does what he does best, puts in a shift every single game. I think he's a very good squad player, but he shouldn't be playing week in, week out. That other side, he put in a pretty decent performance. Going to the left, Harrop, probably he has to be man of the match, and he got the goal obviously, and he was just fantastic throughout the game. Like I said, he set the tempo from the start of the game, and he just sort of his willingness to take people on and actually flipping do something with the ball. He had a couple of shots. I know he scored. There was one after he scored as well. He had a shot as well. It just went over, and it was, you know, just that sort of intensity and sort of desire to actually get in the box and score. You know, we haven't seen that in a while. That Martial on the wing in particular, and Mkhitaryan, they don't seem to be doing it enough for me recently, and that needs to change massively on the Wednesday if we're going to be Ajax. And that man Pogba in the number 10 position, I think he was absolutely sublime in the first half. He ran the bloody show. I'm going to give him a flipping 7.5. He obviously only played a half, so he can't get a man of the match. You know, you saw the difference when Pogba went off at half time, how poor we were in the second half. Make no mistake about it, the second half was an absolute shit show. I'm not going to lie. It was so boring to watch. I don't understand why the players weren't going forward. It didn't really make sense. We sat so deep, and at points I kind of felt sorry for Rooney because he was so isolated on his own. Rooney didn't have a fantastic game, but at the same time, he didn't really get an opportunity to link up the play in the second half in particular. You saw in the first half when Pogba was playing, he was linking it up nicely with Rooney, and it just made a huge difference to Rooney's game. You know, second half, we was absolutely shocking with that Pogba. There was no one collecting the ball from the middle of the park. That's why Jones sub Carrick on, but Carrick was too slow on the ball. You kind of realise why we need Pogba. The guy dictates the flipping play, and he was absolutely phenomenal in that first half. He's very underrated and underappreciated because of his price tag. For me personally, I think he's been fantastic in the last 3 games he's played, and on Wednesday he's really going to step up and flipping claim the flipping trophy for United. But going on to Rooney, like I said, I don't think he had a fantastic game. Potentially his last ever game at Old Trafford in a Man United shirt. I think it should be personally. I think his pass fantastic. I think he's had his time now. He's been a great servant for the club, but he has to move on and has to give an opportunity for the likes of Rashford, Martial, etc. to come through the ranks. To be fair to Rooney, he hasn't really kept up a force, and he hasn't really made it difficult for Jose to phase him out. So fair play to him. He is a legend in my opinion. You're more than entitled to your own opinions. But yeah, just regarding Rooney in general, I'm just gonna give him a 6. I don't think he was fantastic at all. I did say that he was very isolated in the second half, so I kind of give him a bit of sympathy towards that. However, he just got to do more. He was a more senior player on the pitch prior to when Carrick came on. He needs to flipping get the ball off the players and actually dictate play. I know he's playing his strike, but he has to set the tempo. He's got to show the other players what to do, because like McTominay, I pronounce his name wrong every time, and Twan, them two guys in particular were not confident enough to get on the ball and just pull the strings, and that's something we lacked massively in the second half. And it was such a boring half. I don't want to compare ourselves to flipping Chelsea or anyone like that. They all flipping went and won 5-1, 5-0 and 7-1, and we're out here winning 2-0. We should have just thrown everything and the kitchen sink to this game and meant absolutely nothing. I don't understand why we were so cautious. It made no bloody sense. I was hoping to win 4-5-0 and end the season on high. I suppose we've kind of done that, given the youth a run out, and we've obviously got the victory. Pogba's got a good run in. Obviously, he didn't get injured. It was a fantastic goal, very well taken. He's been very heavily criticised, and rightly so, for his finishing ability, and it was a very good finish on his week of 4. He shanked the one early in the season, so I was very happy he scored that. Harrop again, it was a very well taken goal. Cuts inside on his right foot and just bends it in, Nani-esque. But yeah, I'm just a bit disappointed in the second half. Martial as well came on in the second half. I just don't think he did enough. Hopefully the players are up for it on Wednesday. I will do a preview for that in the next couple of days. But that aside, I hope you've enjoyed the video. You know, it's been a very disappointing end to the season, because obviously the last month or so has been very negative football. However, our season rests on the Europa League game. If we win that, it's a decent season. We win the Champions League. That's what we need. We've got an opportunity to build on this and obviously come back stronger next season. That's the main thing. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you bloody enjoyed the flipping previews in the season. Next season we'll do a couple of more things and mix it up a bit. But that aside, it's been your boy Usman. Take care, like, share and subscribe. Peace. Come on, boys.